So, traders from around the world, here is my goal and objective today. I'm interviewing this man. It's a special man to my heart, my life. He's a great guy. He's a phenomenal trader. He's a wonderful person. He's a great dad. He's a great husband. And before I dive in extremely into detail, I do want to let you all know that I have interviewed Johnny before. So he's one of the few guests that I've had on this show twice. But I figured since I am here at his house, in his home, at his trading domicile, that I would be able to interview him and get some words of wisdom and get some thoughts and some insights into his life. But just in case you guys want to watch his other interview, if you have any interest, or I would suggest that you do. It's a very good interview that him and I had together. So if you just go to the Real Life Trading YouTube channel, click on playlist, and then go to his interview right here, back on May 16th, 2018. So
wow,
coming up on 2 years. And I'll link that in the description box below. But I would like you to say, I want you all to just watch this entire video. Do your best to carve out time. If you're listening, carve out time. If you're watching it, carve out time. It's going to be worth it because this man is 60 years old, coming up on 60.
Crazy.
He's a former Marine.
Hoorah.
He's beat cancer.
Absolutely.
Killed it.
Killed it.
He's fired up. He's profitable.
Absolutely.
He's crushing the market. I'm going to keep going. He's about to quit his job.
Oh, yeah.
His big boy job.
Oh, yeah.
To trade full time. So let's talk through what happened. So he told me before we got on this interview that he's going to be a little bit gangster today.
A little bit chippy.
Okay.
I'm feeling it.
That's fine. So you're entitled to do that.
All right.
So this is going to be a no holds bar interview, folks. So if some words get dropped, if you got some 13-year-olds, this might have parental consent. You never know. Well, I'm going to ask him some tough questions, right? Because I've already had one interview with him. So we're just going to dive right into the good stuff. Johnny, you were the worst trader in the world like 4 years ago.
Sucked.
What was the shift? There was a shift. There was a day. There was something that happened. What was it?
So 2 things.
Okay.
You've heard me talk about the dream before, right? I was all about the dream. You know, I have this house because I had a dream.
Yep.
I have that pool table over there because I had a dream.
Yep.
I bought a Corvette because as a kid, I had a dream. But when I met you, right, I said to myself, I got to hang with this guy, man. And that dream became a burning desire is really what it is.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying is, you know, there's a lot of tough things out in this world. Life is tough, right? Beating cancer is tough. But if you have a burning desire, we can do anything we want to do. That's number one. Number 2, kind of joking on the kidding aside, but for real, and you talk about it all the time, the pain. You know, with the good, there's the bad. Jeremy told me, Johnny, if you don't become profitable, I'm kicking you out of RLT and go find something else to do.
Yeah,
True.
It was a tough combo.
True.
But I knew that would be ultimate leverage for you.
Never mind eating an onion, you know, or doing something else. You guys got to get some real pain. Okay, you got to have that burning desire. You got to want to be successful worse than anything in the world, and you can't let anything stop you. And that's kind of where my mentality changed. I said, okay, no more being a nice guy. Started, excuse me. Started, you know, listening to a bunch of books, tapes. One of my favorites is David Goggins because, you know, he's a Navy SEAL. I was a Marine Force Recon guy, so a lot of similarities. And I was like, okay, this guy's right, man. You know, we can't do this thing just half. I tell my son this, so excuse my language. Just don't do things half-ass. If you're going to do them, just go out there, get that burning desire, and don't let anything stand in your way. So I think that's what it was. I was scared.
Yeah.
I was like, Jeremy's going to freaking defriend me, you know?
I knew that would be ultimate pain for you, man.
Yeah.
You know, but that was the pivotal moment that caused, I feel like, was, again, what a lot of traders will do is they trade from a place of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
They'll trade from a place like, oh, I want to quit my job, or I want to make money, or I want to do this, but they've never experienced like what happens if that doesn't occur. So you lose some money. So what? So you eat an onion. So what? It's like you'll do anything.
Yeah.
Right? That's what Marines do.
Hoorah. Gilbert, I'm talking to you, by the way.
Yeah. They'll do anything. And that means that you have to find something. You have to put your back against the wall and go, okay, this is ultimate pain. So I'm not going to do that. Right? You have certain morals, certain things that you believe in. And so put your back against the wall and just make it happen. It's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we are animals, right? And it is a tough world out there. And bottom line is, if we're going to be successful, you know, you can't depend on a video or a motivational book or whatever to get you in the mood. Okay. You better put yourself in the mood, because there's nobody else out there that's going to do it for you. Right? You got to dig in. You got to have that burning desire. You got to tell yourself, hey, you know, it's me against the world, especially in trading, right? Trading is not a friendly place to be, you know, for the weak of heart. And so you just got to want it bad. And here's one of the biggest keys. Okay. And the guys and the girls are all around us in RLT. Okay. There's the Arabias, you know, and the Angelas, you know, and the a bunch of different people. I can go on and on. But those people, they've had their back against the wall, you know, especially the women, you know, but they said, hey, I ain't quitting, you know, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm going to beg you guys, you know, you don't know how many times I felt like quitting, you know, but the only thing that kept me from quitting was like, man, I know this thing is right around the corner, you know, and I hate to lose. I mean, Jeremy talks about, you know, losing, and you got to be a great loser. I'm a sucky loser, man. I freaking get pissed, you know, and I think that's what's helped me, you know, honestly, is I've learned to lose gracefully, I guess, if you could call it that, you know, because I know losing is my mechanism to learn. Right? Mm-hmm. There's no way you can win without losing, right?
Right.
You gain that experience, you know, but me personally, I use that as my motivation, man. You know, you piss me off, then I get stubborn and strong-headed, and I said, you ain't going to win, you know?
Right. I love it. It's a good mentality to have. And again, that's why I love working with current and former military, is because I know that discipline's in there somewhere. So if I can find just the right thing to say or the right tweak, the right mechanism, I know it's just an unstoppable force. Because we have to be unstoppable in trading. But again, this is not even trading. That's why the company is called Real Life Trading. Like this is how you become successful at life. So tell me how you became more successful at life, because you've also made massive shifts.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making more money all around. You're happier all around. Your family is better all around. Everyone's doing better.
Yeah.
How did that happen? I mean, was it a part of trading or what?
Well, again, you know, nobody's going to make you happy. You got to make yourself happy. You got to tell yourself you're going to be happy, right? But no, absolutely. How can anybody not feel motivated and good and encouraged by being in the Real Life Trading team? You know, I mean, you go on Slack, you have, I mean, unheard of stuff. You have people buying other RLT members' coaching sessions with you.
It's wild.
I mean, where in the world do you hear about that kind of stuff out in the real world, right?
It's wild.
Yeah. So, no, I'm convinced that, you know, it's us. It's us against the world, right? And you got to be your own driver. Like I said, there's nobody else out who's going to coddle you and carry you to be successful in life. You know, I have a 7-year-old daughter, yes, even though I'm 60 years old, but she's going to be just like her mom. You know, her mom is a pillar of strength in this family, you know, and she's so strong. And that's what I want from my daughter, because I know if she's going to be like my wife, then she's going to be successful, because she won't depend on other people to be successful. You know, that being said, one of the most critical things I think is, and we've talked about this how many times, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Right.
You know, Jeremy, you can beat the drum all day long. And this is probably one of my biggest faults, is because I'm stubborn and I have pride and ego just like any other man, right? But when I started listening to you and put all that crap aside, that's when I think it hit me. You know, back to your original question, that's when I said, you know, this guy, he's just unbelievable. Because one, you are the most genuine person that I've ever met in my life. I mean, seriously, there's nothing fake about you. You know, I would stand by your side any day, because, you know, I know that's who you are, you know, and you can't find that kind of many people like that in this world. So, yeah, it's all those things. It's more about the independence. And you know what? If you're a husband and a daddy, you know, or a wife and a mommy, you decided to have kids, right? And you better get off your butt, right? And do something and provide those kids not only the education and teach them about, you know, how to be a good person and how to be successful, but to love on them, you know, and make them good people. That's what I believe.
I love it. All right. Cancer. How'd you beat it?
Mind over matter.
No, dude, it doesn't work that way.
No.
You have to do something.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the doctor said, Johnny, you got cancer. And I, you know, cried.
What was it like? Tell me a little bit about that. Like, did you go in for like a regular checkup? And he was like, hey, bro, you're screwed. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I had a great doctor. Unfortunately, he moved on, but, you know, went in and I was having issues, you know, so just expected something.
Just didn't feel good in general?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to talk about the specifics or, you know, keep it general?
Keep it general.
Yeah, we can keep it general. So,
I mean,
we'll keep it general.
Keep it general. Yeah.
No, but, you know, once you know how we go through those different cycles of emotion, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Once I, you know, got over the feeling sorry for myself and started getting pissed off and said, okay, again, Johnny, you know, either you battle this or it's going to beat you, you know, and when your life is at stake, then it's pretty darn easy, right?
Yeah.
You know, especially when you have, you know, the mentality that I have. So doctor said, you know, we got to operate on you and think you should be good from there. But, you know, you're going to have to make some changes in your lifestyle. So I said, Doc, whatever it takes. You know, same kind of mentality I had recently, you know, before I was persistently, you know, being profitable in the market. It's like, whatever it takes, you know, I'm tired messing with this already.
Yeah.
So we had the operation, went through that. You know, I'm not going to fake it and say that it wasn't a struggle. It was a big struggle, you know, mentally and physically. But, you know, the doctor said, Johnny, this is what you got to do. Kind of like you said, Johnny, this is what you got to do, you know? And so exercising, eating right. And honestly, so I'm almost 60 years old. I remember when I first came in the Marine Corps, the shape that I was. I think if you could factor in the age thing, because obviously I'm not as stronger, I'm not as faster, but to be honest with you, I think I'm in better shape for my age now than I was when I was 24 years old.
Wow.
And it's because, you know why? I threw away my ego, right? I started listening to you. I started listening to my doctor. These guys know what they're talking about, you know? And I can tell you guys, you know, you want to change your life. I guarantee you this is going to change your life. You start eating right. You start eating vegetables. You start eating fruits, right? You stay away from the sugars. You stay away from the carbs. You exercise 5 times a week. I guarantee you, you are going to feel better. You are going to lose weight and you're going to look at life just a completely different way.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. I love it. That's good advice. Yeah. It's just the sugars, the fruits, like fruit. I forget who said this. It was a dietitian on Instagram or something, but She said something to the extent of, if your diet doesn't allow you to eat fruit, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Whatever diet has that in it is not the right diet. It's
Right.
like, you can eat fruit. Don't eat only fruit. Like, fruitarians are not healthy.
Right.
Um,
Because that's a lot of natural sugar,
yeah,
right?
it's a lot of natural sugar.
It's
Yeah.
the refined stuff, the white stuff,
Right.
that you got to stay away
Messes
from.
you up from.
Yeah.
Well, then let's do this. Let's switch gears for a moment. And
Okay.
I know we have the ability to look at some charts. So if we want, let me know. You're up $800 right now so far on the day.
Yep.
What is, and again, you're up $600 yesterday.
Yeah.
How much were you up Monday? Do you remember? Because today's Wednesday.
It was in the twos, like 280, something like that.
So you're up almost $1,500 for the week.
Yeah. Can you come over here more often?
Well, I was going to say, what's your trading strategy? Can you explain it to people? Like, what is it that you do? Pretend that we're 8-year-old, man. We don't know anything. How do you trade this stuff?
So I got to tell everybody the story about when we celebrated RLT's 4th birthday, right, in Nashville. Right?
Okay.
So Jeremy takes us to this adventure park, and it's kind of like a confidence building park where you got to climb ropes. You're up high, you're doing this. And if I remember right, that was like maybe 6 months after my surgery, something like that.
Yeah. So I'll fill you guys in on that. We had Real Life Trading was turning 4. So this was November 5th of 2019.
Yeah.
2018. So November 2018, we go to this ropes course. You guys all probably know what ropes courses are. So me and the whole team flew Johnny in from Hawaii. We're all there. We're all hanging out. And one of my faults, one of my flaws, I'll tell you guys this up front, is I'm not great with empathy. Okay? That's one of my weakest points. I'm working on it. All right? I'm going to a therapist. I'm trying to work through it. I don't know other people's pain very well. I don't even see it. Right? I'm internally focused on what I'm trying to accomplish, and I'm going to push you to your breaking point. I make a great drill sergeant. Whew. I don't care about your pain.
Yep.
Not a great thing, okay? Especially if you're in a relationship with someone else. I'm working through it. But anyway, I didn't even care that he had just had surgery, right? For his prostate cancer. Just had like invasive surgery. I'm putting him up on this rope course. He's strapped in, and there's this bridge with a tight rope. I'll let you take it from there.
That was hard ass, that bridge.
Tightrope bridge across, like, we're talking like 85 feet in the air.
Yeah. So, I mean, you went across it first.
Yeah.
I think then Brad, right?
Yep.
And then I don't know if I was next or whatever, but man, I was like, okay, this is going to take a lot of strength, but somehow, some way, I'm going to get across this bridge.
Are you scared of heights?
Yeah, of course. I'd never admit that, but I mean, especially being a Force Recon guy. But no, yeah. So I was like, okay, if those two just made it across that, I'd be damned if I'm not going to make it. And I'm telling you guys, this thing was hard. It was really hard to do. But I said, okay, frick this. I'm going to make it. And I made it over, man, but it was ugly. I was like legs over the wire, and I was pulling myself over, and I was huffing and puffing. And I looked at Jeremy, and he had his head half cocked, and he's like, what is this guy doing? Because Jeremy and Brad, they just like gracefully went over this thing, and they were over like in 10 seconds. But I was like, okay, I'm not going to be so pretty, but I'm going to make it over. Why I'm telling everybody this is because that's how I trade. It absolutely is. It's
not pretty, guys.
Oh, man.
Do not look at his charts.
Yeah.
They are hideous.
But, you guys got to realize something, too. I have a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old who I get up, I start trading, and within an hour, like getting them breakfast and getting their, lunches ready. Mom's down here. So I'm trading while there's all kinds of craziness going on in the Guarco house. And I'm not a great guy. I can multitask when I have to. And this is one of the times that I have to, because I got to do it if I'm going to be successful. But, that's what's going on when I'm trading. But, another thing that Jeremy taught me was me and Jeremy, we were like perma bears for a while, right? Remember that? How the statistics were, back a couple of years, we're saying, you know, that the gap and goes and were the best when we traded them bearish, right?
Yeah.
So we were always looking to go bearish.
Yeah.
Different day, baby. You know,
there was a time when the market went down for a whole day at a time. It was the craziest thing. You could play something bearish and it would actually work.
Yeah.
It was wild.
So I had to change that mentality because, again, not being able to multitask very well and focus on things, you know, I was like, okay, these people fall down the stairs faster than they climb them. So I was focusing just totally on the bear market. And so that had to change. Right. So today I'm very focused on the SPY because I was at one time before, but I'm really studying the SPY now because I think, you know, if you get a good feel for what the SPY is going to do, you know, it obviously affects the rest of the market. So I'll get in the morning, you know, start listening to, you know, Brad and Blake and you in the morning and see what's going on, see which way the market's working. And then I'll start looking at, you know, David's list that he puts on the Slack channel every morning, which is such a blessing in itself. And then I'll say, okay, well, it looks like we're going bullish. So I start looking at the gap and goes, you know, for bullish because obviously they're stronger than the retest gaps. But I also have a different trading strategy because, you know, I'm up at basically trading at 4:30 right now. And then me and the kids are walking out the door at 7:00. So I hate walking out the door and still having a trade open. So I really strive to, if I'm in the green, a lot of times I'm saying, hey, I'm in the green and I'm getting out of here. You know, I think of recent is a good example of that is because the last 9 days of trading, I've won 8 days out of the 9.
Yeah. And it helps your confidence, right? Like even if it's a small win, it helps you feel better going into the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing I was lousy at my stops before.
What do you mean?
And just because, you know, I was like, okay, well, I got to give it, you know, a lot of room. And I would just let things retrace back, you know, too far. And I would end up losing an R most of the time. You know, if I was lucky, I felt relief when I got out for minus 0.9 R, you know. But today, just because of what you've taught me, you know, I mean, I'm looking at 0.7 R less, you know, for a loss. And you got to do that, right?
Yeah.
We know the statistics. You got to lose small and let those winners run.
What was the worst trade you've taken in the last 2 months?
Whew.
Off the top of your head.
You know, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but maybe it's part because you know, I have ADHD, I think, never diagnosed, you know, but I'll look at my trade, you know, I'll go back at nighttime and I'll look at what I did and what I could have done better. And then I purposely forget about it. I do. You know, I've been, as you know, reading and listening a lot. And, you know, I love how, you know, Buddhism, they teach about living in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, and I know me personally, I believe in God and I know God gave me a brain and, you know, I use that information. I don't have to sit there and think about, you know, gosh, that's the worst trade I've ever made, you know? So I can't even answer your question.
That's fair.
I purposely try to forget about them.
Do you like meditate to forget about them or it just happens naturally?
No, I do meditate, you know, and I just love quiet, you know, I love, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. But I picked this house just because of the trees in the forest and in my backyard. I mean, that faces Pearl Harbor, but I'd much rather have the serenity, you know, of the forest. And this is where I sit and trade in the morning. You know, I love that quiet.
It's not a bad setup.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is, you know, I used to be such a worrier. What a waste of time, Johnny.
Yeah.
You know, you learn from your mistakes, you know, you learn from your losses and you just move on, you know, and that's like, I purposely try not to harbor on things anymore. I'm getting too old to harbor and not to forgive.
So what is stopping you right now from quitting your job and trading full time?
Whew. You know,
because a lot of traders are going to have that question.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of traders, people trade for one of two reasons. They trade because they like it and they like what they're doing and they just want to make side income. They want to make that side hustle money. And that's great.
Yep.
But if you're watching this particular interview, you're not that person.
Right.
If you've made it this far into the chat, you want to do this full time. Like, this is what you love doing. It energizes you, it excites you, it confuses you, it pisses you off, it frustrates you, but it's amazing.
Yep.
Right? Kind of like a girlfriend. Hey. Love you, babe.
Ashley's on the other side.
So you love it, right? It's all those pieces. Now, what advice do you have for someone who wants to quit their job trading, and what's holding you back from doing it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that's a hard as heck question,
too.
It
is hard. Yeah, it's hard.
So not any two people are going to be the exact same, right?
Correct.
I have a 7-year-old, as you know, a girl.
Yep.
I have a 13-year-old boy. I mean, I have other kids, 22-year-old in college. So living in Hawaii is not cheap, as you know.
It is not cheap.
Sending your kids to private school is not cheap, as you know.
No, it's not.
You know, I have a good job. I'm not going to tell you how much money I make, but I make a very good living. And I think the answer to your question, though, is it's got to make sense, right? It's got to make sense. But the other thing is you got to have confidence in yourself that you're going to be able to move on and succeed. So yes, exactly. There's a balance act right there. You know, I've always wanted to be free. You know, I always wanted to retire when I was 55 years old. I don't know why. Maybe because my birthday is May 5th, you know, that 55, maybe that's stuck in my head, you know, so I'm 5 years behind. But you got to have that burning desire and say to yourself, you got to do whatever you got to do to be free, right? I will be free. There's no question in my mind. And it's going to be within a couple of years. But I think it's got to financially make sense. You know, you're trading and your other sources of income and your job, you know, and your lifestyle, all that's got to align. Like right now, because of you, and we should tell the story, you know, 5 years ago, I looked at you and said, Jeremy, I've never even taken my kids, my family on vacation before, you know, and you're like, why not? And long story short, you told me to go out and start taking vacations. And because of that, we've had the most unbelievable vacations the last 5 years, you know, and we're doing them together, which is just unbelievable.
Yep.
So, you know, those things come into play, and those are not cheap. You know, like our last vacation, I spent $18,000 on that vacation.
Nice.
You know,
there you go.
And it's because of you. It's because I've created another source of income, right? But as bad as I want to retire, I know because I have a lot of responsibility, right, to my kids. If it was just me, I'd say, freak this, I'm out of here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
let me pause you that for a moment, because that is an interesting aspect, and it's something you want to think about, because a lot of traders, you can look at myself or the guy, you know, Umar, who I interviewed last week, and there's a lot of other traders out there who it might just be them and one other person,
right,
or just them by themselves. You know, they don't have any wife, or they don't have kids, they don't have obligations they've brought through their life. So that makes it more of a challenge. And you're right, it does have to come up with financial sense. But also keep in mind, one of the other things he mentioned was other streams of income. You don't have to quit your job and go, all right, well, there's no other money that's ever going to come in. Right? That's not accurate. You can still go do consulting, or maybe you can work part-time, or maybe you can do something that uses your skills online. Other than trading, okay, there's always this trading aspect, but let your brain be okay to think about other ways that you can make money, because it does exist. There are other ways. They might not be
all around us.
They might not be huge other ways, right? But if you live in let's say you live in a neighborhood, and once a day for an hour, you go and clean someone's house, right? You start your own maid service.
Cut some
lawns, wash some cars, detail some cars. I'm just saying, crazy, worse, weird scenario. You start some type of job where you just do that and get paid an extra $100 an hour, right? Those things start stacking up. So first, you have to believe that it is possible. That's the money grows on trees concept, right? Money is everywhere. You can go get some more. You need other sources of income. You should never have one source, regardless of what that source is, regardless of how much it is. Okay, you get paid $300,000 a year at a job. You should still have some other source of income.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. One source of income ain't making it in this day and age.
No.
You know?
No.
And when you retire, okay, don't retire for less money that you're making now. Right. And that's one of the keys for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I walk out the door at work, okay, I need to be making more money than I have in that job.
Right.
Right. So that's one of the big things. And that ain't going to happen by people sitting on their butt.
No.
It's going to happen by getting in front of the computer screen and studying your charts, hanging around you, right? Doing those kind of things and thinking, okay, if that's not enough, then start doing the things like you just said. Go out in your neighborhood, do whatever, quit smoking, quit drinking Coke, quit going to Starbucks. I mean, saving money, you can also make money, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Save it and invest it.
Yeah. Instead of going buy coffee at Starbucks, how about putting that $5 a day into the stock?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. So it can be small things, right? Small things can add up. That's absolutely adequate. And then I think that's, again, as you mentioned, it doesn't make sense for everyone. Not one person's the same. You have to have different ebbs and flows. There's going to be different verticals. There's going to be different things to consider, but it is possible. And if you don't quit fully, you can also see if your job allows flex time, right? Yours doesn't specifically, kind of, sort of, but like you can't work can you work 3 12-hour days? Can you work 2 20-hour days, which I've done before in the past? Can you work 4 10-hour days? Ask your job, can you work remotely? Push the boundaries. If you know you want to quit, start pushing the boundaries. Ask for massive raises, okay? Put in a lot of value into your job. Do really, really good things and ask for crazy, wild recommendations. Start pushing the boundary and just see what happens. Because again, if you get fired, well, you want to leave anyway.
Right.
So now you got reason to do something, but no one ever gets fired from asking for more, or very, very, very rarely, at least. And so that's something that you want to consider. Push those boundaries a little bit, find out how to approach it, and kind of go forward from there.
And it goes beyond, just thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Sure, we do things that we think about, and our thoughts are powerful, but bottom line is, if you don't do anything about it, quit going to the mailbox and looking for the Publishers Clearinghouse check. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and put in the work, right? You got to think it, and then you got to go do it.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, life is hard, bro. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bottom line. The successful people in this world, as you know, okay, they work their butts off to get there. It's not about having the silver spoon or expecting somebody to do it for you. I mean, this is hard, but, nobody is going to do it for you.
Right.
People are going to be around you. The Jeremy Newsoms, God bless your soul, are going to be there for you. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, I mean, this is money right here, guys. You want to make some money? Be with this guy, right?
I'm going to help you make money.
Spend the $500, right? And coach with this guy, because it will change your life. He will change your life. I guarantee it. That's what it takes. Sometimes it takes invest in yourself, read books, become a better person, think more confidently, get more motivated, invest in yourself. That's a big thing. Investing in yourself also, by the way, is taking care of yourself, the exercise and the eating right and all that stuff, because you're not good to anybody if you're sick, right?
Yeah. What are your 2 favorite books in the last year and a half?
Absolutely. So David Goggins, You Can't Hurt Me, right?
Good book. Great book. Interesting read.
Yeah. So stand by. I would listen to the tape if I were you guys. Listen to the book, because you just get so much from that. But
yeah, I haven't read it. I want to listen to it. So I don't know how it looks in print form. Not saying it's not good, but I love the way he did it. I think it was very unique. So Goggins, if you're listening in.
Yeah, we love you, man.
Hey, thanks, dude, for all you do.
Yeah. So I got to give you 3 books, though,
okay.
Because
that's fair.
again, nobody's going to motivate you. You got to get it from within, but there's tools to use to help you. Right. And for me, it's the books and the audio tape. So we got Goggins, and then the other one is, and shoot, I forgot his name, Gary Bishop. And excuse the title, and I'll leave out, there's a bleep. It's called Un-F Yourself, and you can read between the lines. But I'm telling you guys, it's called literally bleep yourself. That book, I think I've listened to that book, I'm not exaggerating, about 20 times.
No way.
About 20 times.
You're lying to everybody.
About 20 times.
Wow.
And then the other, so that's the second book, but the third book is, again, and I'm not great with titles. Don't even ask me about like what my favorite part of a movie is or whatever. Oh, forget about that. But Be a Badass and Making Money.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Is that the title?
Yep. That's it. Yeah.
So those three books right there are my mainstays, man. When I'm feeling ho-hum and Johnny, and this, I listen to some Goggins or, Beep Yourself. And I'm telling you guys, listen to those books.
Fires you up.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Let's go. I love switching back to gears.
Yeah. Love it.
Trading. What time frames do you look at?
Whew. Every single one I can.
Ah, I love that answer.
Every single one. So
I love that answer.
Yeah. It depends on the day. I mean, shoot, I couldn't even answer that because I literally, everything from, I don't look at the monthly so much, but I certainly look from the weekly on down to the 1 minute, and depends on the time, depends on the chart. If you guys don't understand what chart to use, just email him or call him or say, Jeremy, can I have a coaching session? Because it just depends.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not a great answer.
No, it is. I actually like it because a lot of traders, they'll ask me, hey man, what time frame do you use?
Yeah.
And I don't use the 1 minute nearly as much as you do, but I look at all of them.
Yeah.
Just look at them. If you spend enough time in front of the charts, eventually things will start sinking in. You'll start getting some intuition. You'll start getting some feeling of what's going to happen, and you're going to have to put some money on the line.
Yeah. Can I give them a hint?
Sure.
Okay. I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but, as Jeremy says, everything works most of the time, right? But I've been following the SPY really close every day, studying that, tracking it. And I'm telling you, that baby likes to come back to the 100 moving average on the 5 minute chart.
Yep. So I'm going to pull that up right now. So I'll switch over.
Yeah.
So 5 minute 105. Is this extended hours or non-extended hours?
Non-extended.
Okay. So this is non-extended hours.
Yeah.
So you're saying pretty much what it's doing right now.
So yeah, absolutely. When that baby gets too far from that 100 moving average on the 5 minute chart, it's going to find its way back.
Now in either direction, up or down?
Yeah, either direction.
Interesting.
And obviously what's going to be more powerful right now in today's market, right?
Yeah.
So I absolutely love when it's down below the 100.
Yeah. Because
it's coming home, baby.
Let's talk about a trade that you didn't take yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Because this was really great. So one of the things that we want to do as traders is, and again, I'm just picking on you. He knows this, but
got to have thick skin when you live with Jeremy.
Yeah, you got to have some thick skin. But the second thing is understand the most important thing we can do as traders is create what we want to do ahead of time and then kind of follow through on that to some degree, to some magnitude. So we talked about this is the chart that we're looking at right now is the 5 minute chart on the SPY. This was Monday.
Oh boy.
Monday had a surge. Monday we were burning cash in your house because it was easier and more cost efficient because that's how much we were making Monday. Monday was cranking it out. And then the market gaps up on Tuesday. But before any of that happened, on Monday, Johnny and I get together and he goes, what do you think the SPY is going to do tomorrow? And I was like, dude, honestly, I think it's just going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to gap up, run a little bit higher. All the noobs are going to pile in, and then it's going to roll over.
Yep.
And you said, I think it's going to run up, trap some people, and then go down to the 100 SMA on the 5 minute chart. End quote.
You got to rub this in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was like, all right, cool. So he pulls up the SPY, and then, it trades up, it runs higher, does its thing. and it starts working on trapping people. Now, you were looking at getting in, I'm pretty sure right here, below this bullish candle. So again, this is the 5-minute chart.
No, I think it was actually that other.
It was this one.
That hammer, that black hammer, below that black hammer, right to the left.
Oh, right here, below
Yeah,
this one.
yeah.
Oh, wow. That's even worse, John.
Yeah.
So he was looking at getting in below this guy.
Yep.
With the stop. Where would your stop have been?
Just
Right
above
here?
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So why didn't you take that trade?
I can't remember exactly. Maybe I was if I was focused on the screen, I would have taken that all day long.
Okay.
But just the way I trade again is, and that's why, you know, I'm so impressed by you and Brad and Blake on the mic, because man, that is so hard to do. When I'm focused, dude, I am focused, right? And so I was just focused on a different trade. I forget which trade it was that day, but I just missed it.
It's fair.
Ashley, how many trades did I tell you I missed today?
Oh, at least like 2.
Like 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, for sure.
yeah.
Are you saying you miss trades daily?
Every day. And I friggin' leave thousands of dollars on the table, which, you know,
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
You know, but again, remember my lifestyle. Give the guy a little bit of a break, you know, because I have to run off, you know, take the kids to school or whatever. But so that's one reason, you know, you're talking about confidence, and I don't mean to sound cocky or whatever, but you take that job away from me, you know, and I can be focused on the full trading day. We're going to make some money together, brother.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. We already are, but,
Yeah.
you know.
So back to that conversation.
Yeah.
What's it going to take?
Whoo, he's putting me on the spot now. Are you talking about time or
just the confidence? Like, what do you think? Like, how long do you think a trader should have confidence-wise or time-wise where they go, you know what, this is it. I need to do this.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be within a couple of years for sure. Absolutely in my mind. But, and I don't want to talk specific monies, but I got to build my cash balance a little bit up in my account, because, you know, you're talking about having $1,000 R. I got to have $1,000 R, you know, to retire. So, you know, me, I'm kind of, I guess, the Marine in me, you know, sometimes I'm really methodical about how I go about doing some things, you know. Other times I just say the hell with that and I go for it. But in this case, because I'm really, I'm very risk tolerant normally, you know, but when I have my family's life and happiness at stake, I'm more risk adverse. So when I get to a point where I can have $1,000 R, I'm done, man.
Well, so I like that though. But so you have like a goal.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have $1,000 risk unit. What are you trading right now with the risk unit?
My risk unit is only $100 right now.
So $100. How long are you going to have that? How long are you going to have that for? You think?
And I don't want that to turn off people, because I know right away people are saying, okay, he's, you know, got $100 R now, but you know, I have a TSP or two.
Yeah.
So they call.
So yeah.
Like you say, so they say, right?
So they say, that's right.
So, you know, it's close, babe. It's close.
No, for sure. You're getting there, man. No, I think the goal is to have measurable stakes at hand.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because you've been, I would say, profitably trading for about a year and a half.
Yep.
Give or take. How long did it take you to get that far?
Whew. When were you, we met like
7 years ago?
Yeah, I was going to say 7 years ago.
So you sucked ass for 5 years.
Oh, yeah. but check this out. Talking about having, you know, an unbelievable wife. I would bitch and complain and whine and I'm quitting and this sucks and I'm tired of losing, because don't forget, I do not like to lose.
Yeah.
You know, and she said, Johnny, what are you complaining about? I'm like, well, you know, I mean, we've lost like $12,000, I think, already, you know, for me trying to freaking day trade. And, you know, I got the kids and I was whining and all this. And she goes, $12,000 to learn how to be a successful trader and be free the rest of your life? You kidding me?
Nice.
I mean, it gives me goosebumps.
Nice.
When, you know, because I can hear her say that, you know, to this day.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that for being awesome?
I love it, dude. No, she's amazing. You have to have a support unit.
Yeah.
You have to have people around you. And that's another reason I want to bring that up is I interact with a lot of traders who just refuse to kind of tell their wife or partner if they're having a good day or a bad day. husband or wife or whoever you're living with, you know, you got to communicate. It's hard. No one wants to, especially as guys. We just want to internalize everything and say, hey, no, there's no problem.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
That's what we want to do. But you got to communicate. You got to open up. You got to start talking through it so that you know your feelings, you know your challenges, you know your problems. That's going to be a really, really key aspect of it. And, you know, right now you're building up your losses from before.
Yeah.
So that's reasonable.
I'm coming back.
You're coming back.
Yeah.
You're on the road to recovery,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah. No, like you taught us, you know, you got to have a plan.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you raise it to 200.
Oh, that's, yeah. I want to do that like right now, but I'm figuring, should I wait till the end of the month? And, you know, I'm easy day 200. Easy day.
300?
Yeah. I was thinking about 3.
When?
We can do it March 1st.
March 1st, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Because you're going to end the month profitable in February.
Yeah. Can't lose.
Well, from here, you've locked a lot in.
Yeah. I think I'm up 8 something R, 8 plus R this month.
Yeah. Which again, guys, it's you got to realize there's slow, steady progress. Each person has their own approach and feel and flow. And you got to have it where you're comfortable and you know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it and you have a plan. So let's outline that. How long would you keep a $300 risk unit for if all goes well?
If all goes well, if I can do like a 10 or 15 R in March, why wouldn't I raise that up to 400 the next month?
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you, bro.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that the right answer?
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Excuse my phone, everybody.
Yeah. I think it's a valid plan. So is it 10R? Is that the minimum?
What my goal is? No, we talked about it yesterday. My goal is 15R, right? 15R a month.
Yep.
So I think now I get what you're getting at. So I should probably hit that goal. Hello, Johnny, before I can move my R, because you got to make a plan. You make a plan, you succeed, then you got to bump it up.
Okay, so you hit the goal, 15 R's, which that'd be a huge month. Whew. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So you hit that, and then you go, okay, if I hit that, then I go to 400.
Yeah.
And then if you hit 15 R's at 400 for 1 month, what do you do then?
Go 5. Keep going.
And then just keep going from there?
Till I hit 1,000 R, man.
Or until you pause and have like an 8R, 6R kind of month, and you just keep that R for a while until you hit 15.
Yeah. If I'm at like 800 R, all of a sudden that timeline of like maybe around 2 years is probably going to get bumped up a little bit.
I hope so. That's what I'm asking.
I know.
I want you to quit
here.
I want you to quit already.
Yeah, I want me to quit too.
I want everyone to quit their jobs.
Let's do it.
Not immediately though.
Let's travel the world, man.
Yes. It takes time, folks. Again, it takes a plan, but the methodical approach, the process has to be there. The confidence has to be there. The push also has to be there. You have to have some pushes, and you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to spend money. You can't be afraid to invest in yourself. I know this is going to sound crazy, man, but like 8 years ago, I had like a weird mental block. I just didn't buy books.
Yeah.
I would not spend money on a book 8 years ago. I was like, well, I don't get it. Like, why? I only have $800 in my bank account. Why would I spend 20 to get a book?
Absolutely. I know.
You know how many people think that way though?
Yeah.
Billions.
Yeah.
Actually.
90+% of the
Billions
population of the world.
of people. I mean, it's
because
far
they don't
too many.
invest in themselves, right?
Yes. And if you buy one book, you read one book. Oh, I read Money Grows on Trees, Jeremy. I'm good.
Yeah.
No, dude. I read 420 books before I wrote that one.
Wow.
It's like, read another.
Yeah.
Because there's another book that's a way to invest in yourself. Like you said, it's a way to get motivated. It's a way to see things from a different angle. And for me, I look at one book to say, I want one takeaway. Just one takeaway from this particular book, and then it's worth my time and my energy and my investment and my money. And if I can have that one takeaway, then I feel like I can grow.
And, the one reason why I re-listen to those books all the time is because every single time I listen to them, I get something different.
And that's the point.
Because you're in a different place, right, in your life.
Yeah.
Every time you read or listen to a book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just so powerful. And again, because of you, right, I wouldn't want to admit anybody that in my lifetime before I started reading books because of you, I think I read like maybe 2 books cover to cover in my life.
Right.
How I made it through college, and
You made it the
in
same way everyone else does.
And where I am today, no idea how I got here.
Yeah.
But now just the power of those books, just unbelievable. Power investing in yourself.
Last question.
Yep.
How does one go about adding value to their, how does one become more valuable as a person?
Wow. That's a really hard question. Become more valuable as a person.
Right.
Yeah. And I never even thought about that, to be honest with you. I mean, how all the things that we've talked about today, obviously, I mean, investing in yourself, getting smarter, get off the couch, get away from the TV, quit sitting on the couch or going golf and drinking beer. And I'm not saying don't do those things, but again, man, I'm telling you, for somebody like me, okay, I'm a rock, dude. Definitely not the sharpest tool in the shed. Back to that burning desire. If you get that burning desire, and then you got to do whatever you have to do to succeed from there, and if that means I hardly even watch TV anymore. I don't hardly ever drink anymore. I quit playing golf, and I'm not saying to go out there and stop having fun. Okay. Because we have a lot of fun, don't we?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, you got to invest in yourself and make yourself a better person. And everybody is individual. So what I do doesn't necessarily going to work for you, right? So me personally, it's about everything. It's about eating. It's about exercising. It's about reading. It's about studying, on the internet. It's about becoming smarter about things because, I am so focused, on just day trading right now. Please don't ever anybody email me and ask me a question about like a spread or something like that, because I don't have a clue, because I don't really care right now. I'm so laser focused, on what I need to do, what I have available to me, and the time that I have to do it is, just crazy. And so to become more valuable, though, I think, again, comes down to the person, doing things like I used to hold on to things forever, and we got to forgive, and that's just a waste of time. It's a waste of energy to hold on to grudges. You kidding me? You got to love. I truly believe, and I never realized this, but, and here I am talking about love, I'm a retired Marine, but, fact is, you don't love people, man, you ain't going to love yourself, Yeah. And you're not going to be successful if you don't love yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I answered that, and I don't mean to sound callous and cocky and anything else, but bottom line, guys, man, it's us against the world. It's you, right? You got to decide that you want to do this, right? And you got to place yourself in the best position to do it. I'm not, Jeremy didn't call me on here to sell him, okay, because I don't need to sell him. He sells himself. But if you're not leveraging him, you're wrong. I'm telling you right now, you are wrong. I'm dead serious too. You spend a coaching session with this guy, I guarantee you that will put you on the glide slope to success. You hear it from him all the time about, you surround yourself with who you want to be like, right? Because you don't want to hang around, drunks or drug addicts or, whatever. You want to hang around people who are successful, right? Who got their act together. Hello. Is that the epitome of what I'm talking about right here? So
thanks, man.
I think if I want to leave anything, in this interview, more and more and more, I understand the fact that, Johnny, it's you against the world, and you are going to have whatever you want. You just set your mind to it and go out there and do it. Love you, man.
Love you too, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the kind words. Folks, hope he's firing you up, because every time I hang around this guy, he gets me excited about life, and family, and it's a great experience to have all groups of people come together from all parts of the world, different backgrounds, different beliefs, different thoughts. But we have to find ways to push through all of our boundaries, all of our levels of comfort, because we all have one. Okay, we all have one. We all have something holding us back, and it is going to be a challenge to accomplish anything. But there is a hurdle, and most of them are mental. So find ways to get pulled across that barrier, or be like Johnny and push yourself past that barrier. But get fired up, be amazing, go out and enrich lives. Thank you for watching this entire interview and video. You are absolutely amazing, and it means a lot for both of us for you to take your time and be a part of this. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You rock. And until next time, love life, and trade it. I'll see you. Bye.